This is a controversial topic. Can Ben 10 beat Goku, Superman, and pretty much anyone? We're gonna watch this video, and we're all gonna go into this with a very open mind and put our biases at the side. I am 100% biased towards Goku because I grew up with Dragon Ball, and I think they're the biggest and strongest, and if they yell loud enough, they can destroy anything, and they can do Super Kamehameha, which is really strong and cool, and laser beams. I didn't grow up with Superman, but I also did watch Ben 10 a little bit when I was younger as well. Now, we're gonna go into this with an open mind, a clean slate, and we're gonna have a true debate about this on the merits of the arguments, and it's gonna be really silly. Does this matter? No. Power scaling different characters from different universes is generally a fool's errand, which is silly, and a lot of these characters aren't made with power scaling in mind, but still, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's see if Ben 10 can beat Goku and Superman.
Whether you're a hardcore Ben 10 fan or just furious at me for challenging your own favorite hero, this video will break down why Ben Tennyson is one of the most powerful characters in fiction ever. I'm Kuro the Artist, and I'm going to show you why Ben can beat Superman, Goku, and pretty much anybody he faces.
God, my immediate visceral reaction is, no, you can't beat Goku. There's no fucking way you can beat Goku. That's not, no creep, that's insane. Kirby solos. I feel like there's gonna be mostly Ben 10 fans watching this video and not so many Superman and Goku fans, because Superman versus Goku enjoyers are off doing their own little power scaling fights where they just do their own thing, where Ben 10 fans have to be like, dude, no, Ben 10 is fucking awesome. He's so strong. He's the best. Whereas everyone else is like, yeah, okay, yeah, Ben 10 is the best. Okay, yeah. And then they go off and they do their own thing. Whereas the Ben 10 fans are clawing and desperate to get Ben 10 in this conversation.
Spawning 4 series and movies of heavy continuity, Ben 10 is easily Cartoon Network's most fleshed out character. While I will mainly focus on Superman and Goku in this video, as they are obviously the most popular and widely accepted standards of fan-made versus battles, I'm going to start from Ben's most basic abilities, and make my way up to his most powerful ones in the end, just to get an all-around feel for the character for those unfamiliar with his real potential. To emphasize, I'm going to show you how Ben can beat the most basic street-level characters and then work my way up to the top tier. So stick around, you'd be surprised what this kid can do.
So recently, I watched the Ben 10 timeline from this very same channel, the Ink Tag. Fantastic channel. Lots of Ben 10 related content, so if you're interested in that, please go and subscribe to them. And I realized that, okay, maybe this character's a little bit stronger than I first put him on a pedestal to be. We'll see how far he gets, though.
Ben Tennyson is equipped with the Omnitrix, a level 20 tech device built by first thinker Azimuth of the Galvan.
A level 20 tech device? Oh. Technology levels are the levels of complication, danger, or sophistication given to the technology in the Ben 10 series. Okay, Earth is just now becoming a Technology 3 planet. Wow, that's crazy. Come on, Tesla. Let's speed that up. Come on, NASA, you slacking.
This device allows Ben to transform into various alien creatures from across 2 galaxies that we know of, and utilize their abilities to, save the world. By the end of the series, the Omnitrix contained 1,912 aliens.
That's incredibly specific, but that's so many species. I guess on the Earth, there's like a billion species of different things, so that's maybe not that ridiculous.
99 have been unlocked, 71 named, and 61 Ben has been shown transforming into on screen. Ben
Only
has
61?
been in possession of 3 different Omnitrix devices across the 4 shows. The original Omnitrix, which had a 10-minute time limit to his transformations, and also caused Ben to
10 minute? That's less than the fusion in Dragon Ball. 10 minute is so dog. It has a recharge time of like an hour or something too, doesn't it? Like 30 minutes?
transform into the wrong alien multiple times, which then recalibrated after 5 years, fixing all of those problems. Until he and Kevin tried to hack the Omnitrix and broke it again. Good going, guys.
Idiot.
Unfortunately, Ben sacrificed that Omnitrix to prevent Vilgax from using it to power his Bioid army. Having no choice, Albedo gave Ben the Ultimatrix, which functions similar to the original Omnitrix, but now includes an evolution feature. According to the late Dwayne McDuffie, the evolution feature worked by placing the selected species in a simulation, right down to the DNA for an extended period of time, about 1 million years or so, in what is described as the worst case scenario. The actual DNA is then simply modified to match the new DNA. This survival of the fittest routine explains why the evolutions are more combat-centered than their normal forms.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. It does forced evolution to bring it to its final potential stage, like the absolute peak of what this species can be. And for some reason, the peak of what this little green guy can be has a cannonball tail.
So basically, if you threw an alien into a non-stop war zone for about 1 million years, this is what it would evolve into to survive.
That's kind of cool.
However, at the end of Ultimate Alien, Azimuth deemed Ben worthy of the official Omnitrix, which he had been working on since Ben found the prototype 6 years ago. But let's take a look at some of the actual alien transformations. More often than not, Ben's aliens all share the same characteristic of giving Ben some form of enhanced strength. Spider Monkey and Kickin' Hawk have been shown to be excellent choices for one-on-one combat. Ripjaw's teeth and jaw are strong enough to tear through even the toughest of metals. And of course, there's Forearms. Ben's Tetraman form is strong enough to not only catch
Did Forearms get a mustache?
And clench onto them as they continue to move, but change the direction of them simply by turning his wrists. He can also smack his hands
very
together
strong.
to create a powerful sonic wave that could push back basically anything in his path. Humongosaur is even a step up from that. According to Eugene Sun, in Humongosaur's base form, he is strong enough to lift up a Toku Star, which averages about 120 feet tall and weighs between 55,000 and 74,000 pounds.
Wow, I cannot bench press that. Yeah, Humongosaur is, I'd say, a bit stronger than me.
Humongosaur can then sextuple in size, multiplying his strength by 6, making his maximum recorded strength about 444,000 pounds.
Oh, so he does an Uzaru, like from Dragon Ball. He doesn't turn into a monkey, obviously, but he turns into a larger version of himself that makes himself stronger. But Uzaru is, I think, a 10 times buff when you turn into it from a Saiyan base form.
There's Waybig, an actual Toku Star, who I don't
Kaiju.
really feel like needs an explanation for his strength. The first alien that comes to mind whenever speed is mentioned is XLR8, one of the original 10 aliens in Ben's arsenal. At age 10, Ben's Kineseleran form can clock up to 500 miles per hour, about 65% of the speed of sound. It is unconfirmed just how fast Accelerate
loses to Sonic
ages, but it was hinted that Ben is able to travel globally within seconds by age 30. Another speed alien Ben has is Fast Track, but I'm gonna skip over his specs as he has already been confirmed to be slower than XLR8. But to top that, Ben would have to
what's the point then? Why would you even have a speedster that's slower than your original speedster? Man, sorting the Omnitrix aliens must be a nightmare. If you have to flick through them one by one, there's gotta be a sorting feature. Maybe it's like voice activated or something like that. But what if there's something really good hidden in there? There's 1 million aliens in there, and he has to sort through them manually? You'd be spending days and weeks just sitting there going, click, click, click. Is this one good? No, click, click, click. This one kind of sucks too. Click. I mean, that one's okay, but it's not as good as the one I already got. Like, click, click, click. And you just do that over and over and over again, tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of times. There's got to be like an Excel spreadsheet for this, surely.
Transform into Jet Ray. His aerophibian form is versatile in both air and water. In the Ultimate Alien episode, Eye of the Beholder, Ben was able to travel across the galaxy at hyperspeed and stick a perfect landing. He is also able to breathe in space, which, you know, Goku can. Jet Ray has also been stated to be even faster when he's underwater, but his maximum speed has not been shown. This leaves Clockwork, Ben's Chronosapien form, who can slow down time to a complete halt, yet move through any terrain with ease.
Okay, so we got a little bit of time manipulation. Now we know that Superman and Goku have gone up against time manipulators. At least I know Goku's gone up against like Hit, and he was he beat the time manipulation by being so strong that he just beat it. His body was not affected by time manipulation anymore because he was so fucking buff.
Hunter Zolomon, aka Zoom, one of the Flash's greatest threats, also had the ability to slow down time rather than just run at super speed. With that power, the Flash has stated that even at his fastest, Zoom was still a blur. So you can imagine what the Flash might feel about seeing an entire planet of aliens doing the very same thing.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the same level of capability. When it comes to lifting things, people can lift things at different rates. They can lift stronger things or heavier things when they're stronger. Just because someone has the ability to slow down time doesn't necessarily mean they can do it in the same range for the same amount of time. Does it tax them? All powers are different, you know?
While not quite on his cousin Gwendolyn's level, Ben is also an incredibly skilled fighter, with and without the Omnitrix. Even in an alternate universe where Ben never even found the Omnitrix nor heard of aliens existing, he still had some pretty good moves. He is skilled in numerous fighting styles for hand-to-hand combat from training with his cousin, the Plumber Academy, and just copying what he's seen off of video games. He has also been shown to use
Copying what you saw of video games? That's a real thing? Oh man, I can't wait to get in a fight now. I'll totally own them. I'll do like a backflip and a sky uppercut.
Close range and long range weapons. When you throw the Omnitrix back into the mix, Ben can be extremely creative and adaptive with his transformations. When Kevin Levin, former enemy and now best friend of Ben, absorbed the first 10 transformations from 10-year-old Ben's Omnitrix.
We have to admit though, this form goes kind of hard, right? I mean, it's really cool. It looks like a fusion of all the different variants of Demons of Chaos from 40k.
Ben taught Kevin how to combine his alien's abilities to create unique and powerful attacks.
Accelerate speed plus forearm strength plus diamond head invulnerability equals
one mean punch.
I guess after 6 years though, the lessons didn't stick.
Was this guy like Luffy?
Powers of a ghost, come in already.
At the end of Season 2 of the classic series, Back with a Vengeance, Ben has temporary access to the Master Control, allowing Ben to switch between alien form at will without having to turn human first, and no time limit for his transformations. And just look how effortlessly versatile this 10-year-old is, executing a multitude of evasive
yeah, he's pretty good with this, right?
moves while constantly changing form every few seconds. While scenes like this are very visually stunning, think about how much cognitive dexterity you would need to pull this off. At the time, Ben had 12 transformations.
Listen, I can't pet my head and rub my belly at the same time. So I'm willing to say that he's exceptionally good at fighting, and not only fighting, but containing all the information in his head, like, should I transform into this at the right time? See, what would happen to me is I'd be like, oh, dude, I'm gonna kill this right now. And I transform into the wrong alien at the wrong time, plummet to my death within seconds. I wouldn't be able to do this.
So his decision making for exactly which form to change into and what to do with it as the events are happening are incredibly impressive.
I wonder if the Omnitrix itself enhances your own decision making, because I feel like being able to do that kind of thing wouldn't be possible for most humans unless you'd spent years and years and years training at it. You know, they say you don't become a master at something unless you spent 10,000 hours doing it, and he had the master control up for like 20 minutes. He already knew what to do. He already knew how to transform at the right time. So I feel like the device itself has got to accelerate or do something with your brain chemistry to make you better at that.
Years later, he has only gotten better, and can now change form mid-battle whenever he wants without the Master Control. However, now his transformation time limit is based on how much energy the Omnitrix has, instead of an exact time frame. So depending on how Ben uses the Omnitrix, transformations can last anywhere from a few hours to just a couple of brief seconds. But Ben also has the option to turn on the life form lock, which genetically locks Ben into a single transformation with no chance of a timeout, should the situation call for it. No segue needed, I'm just gonna jump right in. Toddler Pyronites, or baby heat blasts, can reach supernova temperatures whenever they have a tantrum, so an adult Pyronite can speak for itself. There's also Energy, whose body emits a constant radiation so harmful to most species that he has to stay in a full-body cage whenever he's off his home planet. Atomic can execute and manipulate.
Just don't leave your home planet. That seems like a complete disregard for other people's safety. What if there's a hole in your suit, buddy? You just killed everyone around you. Why would you leave?
An unknown powerful nuclear energy, and is easily one of Ben's strongest transformations. Ben usually refrains from this form unless absolutely necessary due to its destructive nature. Moving back to previously mentioned aliens, Waybig can emit powerful cosmic beams when he crosses his arms that are strong enough to damage Dagon, a multi-dimensional being made of living energy. Waybig's cosmic beams can hurt living energy. There's clockwork.
I don't know if that's we can't quantify that in terms of like a feat though, because we don't know how much living energy really is. Like, it's cool. That sounds cool. What does that even mean?
You can fire time rays, which basically rapidly age whatever it targets into dust, instantly killing them.
Oh my god.
Even if all of that is not enough to convince you that there's more to this Omnitrix bearer than meets the eye, there's one final transformation that basically takes the cake, and that of course is Ben's Celestial Sapien form, Alien X.
Alright, I think this is the main thing we've already been waiting for, right? It's not like Goku or Superman were gonna fight the stink bug Nurgle demon that he flies around as, or the guy that runs fast. He's gonna be fighting the multiversal omnipotent creature, right? That's the one he's gonna be juking out with.
His powers are the ability to alter reality in any way he wants with no potential limits. Seriously. He can manipulate time, space, create whatever he wants, destroy whatever he wants, etc. Now, omnipotence is definitely an ability you'd want to keep in check.
But it has drawbacks, right?
Celestial Sapiens all have 3 personalities that share one body. When Ben transforms into Alien X, he becomes one of these 3 personalities. For him, there's Bellicus, the voice of rage and aggression. Serena, the voice of love and compassion. Ben takes the place as the voice of reason. And yes, each Celestial Sapien has their own unique trio of floating heads. To do anything, at least 2 of the 3 personalities must agree to execute the motion. So if you became Alien X and wanted to, say, turn someone into a fish or something, you have to debate with the personalities and
You have to debate them! Oh my god! You turned Ben into a debate, bro. Jesus Christ. He's fighting with Twitter trolls on the timeline so that he can reality warp. What a silly situation to be in.
At least one of them to agree with you that it's a good idea, and then you can do it. This could lead to a disadvantage in battle, as there are times where Ben is still debating with Bellicus and Serena, so his body is completely motionless. He's still indestructible in that state though, so it doesn't exactly leave him vulnerable. It just doesn't get anything done either.
He's having reality-ending fights on the outside, and on the inside, he's trying to actually some floating heads.
There are many times where Ben has successfully used Alien X, such as his debut episode where he was able to rewind time but only in a specific spot, or in Omniverse where he failed to stop the Annihilarch from blowing up the universe, so he just created a new one. Yup,
that's insane.
From episode 4 of Omniverse.
That's the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened in the show. The universe gets deleted, so he recreates a new one. But you don't really know if you recreate the universe, that's not the same consciousness. Is it really the same people that you interacted with before? Or is it just a copy that you created with your powers? That's sad and depressing.
Onward, everyone and everything in the universe gets obliterated. So Alien X creates an exact duplicate, spared for some minor changes to reality.
Yes, it's different. It's changed. It's his version. It's not the original one. It's his version of it. So, I would say that's a pretty good power. There is some drawbacks. If Ben 10 was actually fighting with Goku and Superman, would he be able to reason with Alien X? I don't think that he could realistically make the argument that Goku is a threat to the universe, because Goku just likes to punch things because it's fun. The same with Superman, generally a good person. So unless the floating heads were evil for some reason, I don't know, could he even use it?
It's not perfect, guys. However, Ben was actually able to bypass that and gain full control over Alien X in the episode Universe v Tennyson, where Ben is actually put on trial by all the other Celestial Sapiens for recreating the universe, as it violates the Multiverse Preservation Act.
Okay, so it becomes, what's the context of the fight now? Because if he overrides them and just says, I don't care, fuck it, I'm just gonna do what I want. I'm just gonna delete Goku with my reality warping powers, which he might be able to do. Then you get put on trial. Is that even the right thing to do? Would he do that? Is that within the character? Would the character actually do this?
Nearly losing the trial, Ben resorts to the Tetraman Trial of Combat and has to fight another Celestial Sapien. Ben convinces Bellicus and Serena to, quote, give him the keys to Alien X, and they could just float in the corner somewhere and argue all they want for eternity, and Ben won't bother them. And they
say
actually
yes?
agree. So
That's dumb.
Ben, as a limitless Alien X, ends up defeating the Gladiator and is found not guilty on trial. Sort of. There's a lot more to the episode, so I would just go and watch it.
Why does he have to punch and kick him if he's an omnipotent reality-bending reality warper? I know the other guy is as well, so it's not like you just think him out of existence. But then again, if you're omnipotent, if you are all-powerful, you should be able to think him out of existence. If not, then you can't do it and you're not omnipotent. There are limits. There are people that you can't beat. So he's not all powerful. Why do you have to punch him? Why not imagine yourself a cool laser gun instead?
And since then, Ben is able to casually use Alien X whenever he wants, for whatever reason. And it's honestly pretty awesome.
What's Benno doing up there? Sounds like a war.
That's just the I win button.
Has control of Alien X.
He could trap Superman in a room made of pure kryptonite, with walls that are 50 feet thick. He could drain all of the power out of Goku until there's nothing left. He can make it so they never even existed. Or as Kevin put,
They could just blink and we'd be gone.
still not convinced? Well, Ben 10's the kind of show to give you not one, not two, but 3 alternate versions of Ben's future, where each one has their own special ability. This is because every time Ben met his future self, knowing his future would cause it to change, and because every iteration of the series wanted to make their own Ben 10,000. Because why not? It's awesome, it's creative, and it's rare where stuff like this is the norm in a TV show. So there's the first alternate future introduced in the classic series, who's simply just Ben 10,000. This one comes from a future where Ben never had to sacrifice the Omnitrix in order to stop Vilgax at the end of Alien Force, and wore the same Omnitrix throughout his entire life. This Omnitrix came with the ability to obtain DNA that was not previously in the Omnitrix, upon coming into contact with the alien. Now, it was also stated by Dwayne McDuffie that upon the Omnitrix's recalibration, it unlocked a feature we'll just call the data dump. Upon transforming into a new alien species, the Omnitrix will import the creature's basic instinct into the user's brain. So if Ben ever becomes an alien that he's never seen before, he already knows how to use it within seconds.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see why I do that. You know, it's this magical device that can do basically whatever you want. So, are you saying that he can import being a Saiyan into the Omnitrix or being a Kryptonian into it, and then he becomes the strongest possible version of that immediately? That's interesting. Potentially. But if you did that, would he already be able to transform into a Super Saiyan? Would he already have the ability to do that? Considering unlocking Super Saiyan potential has been tied to moments of great emotional distress. Actually, not always, because Goten and Trunks, they could transform into a Super Saiyan pretty much from the get-go. So I assume he would have access to those transformations, and he would already know how to use them as well, right?
This was shown between the first 2 seasons of Alien Force. So, Goku and Superman are both aliens. If either of them touched the Omnitrix at any point in time during the battle, Ben could scan their DNA and transform into them. With his own costume and color scheme, of course. Superman's power comes from the sun, and if Ben became a Kryptonian, both he and Superman would have the same power basis, and Ben—
Okay, so the question is now, what kind of fight is this? Is this like a bloodlusted fight? Are we starting from the same arena? They're starting from different parts of the world or different parts of the universe, the way they have to like travel to find each other? Because if Ben 10 has normal human reaction times, Superman and Goku, if they're bloodlusted, if they want to end it immediately, if it's just like about winning and that's all, they just speed blitz him, bam. He has no time to fucking open it up. He has no time to even think. The synapses in his brain don't even get to go off because these characters are just too fast. If it's more of a friendly how do you do fight, he's probably not going to go Alien X deletion them from reality anyway because it's not that serious.
Ben would instantly know his moveset, being a perfect match for Superman. And hey, if anything goes wrong, Alien X. The second alternate future is where Ben 10,000 was able to utilize the ultimate feature all the way into adulthood. Fans tend to refer to him as just Ultimate Ben. He can use the powers of any of his aliens, including their ultimate transformations, while still remaining in his human form. He is also able to scan for new alien transformations at a distance this time via a yellow supermarket checkout beam. And if you remembered how I explained ultimate transformations work, Ben could scan Goku and transform into an ultimate Super Saiyan, making him the absolute fullest of a Saiyan's potential instantly. So, Ben could go Super Saiyan 3. Although, not Super Saiyan Red or Blue though, because of the whole ritual thing. But hey.
Oh, okay. So he could go Super Saiyan 3. He could go Super Saiyan 4, actually. But I guess maybe he could do Ultra... Oh, he can't do Ultra Instinct. I guess you need God Key for Super Saiyan God, for Super Saiyan Blue, and for Ultra Instinct. You need the God Key, right? So he wouldn't be able to do that. And obviously Super Saiyan God is like way above Super Saiyan 3. So he wouldn't be able to access those forms. So generally, he probably doesn't want to turn into a Saiyan because he'd be outclassed by Goku anyway. He doesn't have the God Key.
Alien X. Also, Ultimate Ben can do magic, one of Superman's weaknesses.
You hang around at Anodite for 20 years, you pick up a few tricks.
The third alternate future has Ben equipped with a device he built using his smartest alien transformations, which he calls the Bi-Omnitrix. To give him his own identity, we'll just call him Ben 10K. Now, Ben 10K can use the Bi-Omnitrix to fuse together any 2 of his aliens for seemingly infinite transformations.
Dude, this is cool. I love fusions. I think this is sick.
His most powerful one was also his most utilized one, Atomic X, the fusion of Alien X and Atomics. So using previous knowledge, Ben can transform into a fusion of Kryptonian and Saiyan DNA, which would be sick. Freaking sweet. And
yeah, that'd be cool.
If all of that didn't convince you, even if you somehow still think there's a way, there's always the fact that basically
I think there's a way.
Ben can't die. The Omnitrix has a failsafe where if Ben were ever to actually die, the Omnitrix would quickly sample through all of Ben's alien DNA and reconstruct a new body for him to inhabit.
What?
I thought you were... Nah, I always figured the Omnitrix had a failsafe that wouldn't let me die, and sure enough, it kicked in right when the...
Oh, dude, that's cheating. You can't use that. That's cheating.
Big Bang started.
Also, here's a picture of Ben holding an explosion the size of an entire universe in his hands. But if Ben really is all that powerful, why doesn't he ever do anything with it? Well, in the end,
because it's not fun.
Ben's a human. He can be impulsive, make mistakes, and takes advantage of his powers recreationally whenever he gets a chance. But his morals are very strong. It may be cliche, but all he ever really cares about is doing what's right.
What's it gonna be this time? Humongousaur?
Nah, Humongo's too close to what I'll be fighting. Gotta figure that thing's had a lot more experience being a dragon than I have.
Thinking it through, huh?
And according to him, there's always more than one way of getting something done.
Your friendship aside, the only responsible
Naked grandpa?
is to take him down with all necessary force.
Then I don't understand why you're talking to me.
It's the logical move. It's the safest move. It's the sensible move.
But
It's not the
Stop being an idiot, Ben.
You trust people. You give them second chances, and they live
You
up to
fucking
your
idiot.
expectations.
No! Stop hurting them!
This is a battle. We do what we must to survive.
These are human beings, Michael. They're under alien control. We take them down, not out. Understand?
At the end of Ultimate Alien, Ben contained the Dagon's power inside of Ascalon, a reality-altering sword, and along with the Ultimatrix, he was basically already all-powerful, even without Alien X. But all he did was turn every human back to normal and then gave it all up. He doesn't need all of that power to save the world.
Honestly, having that much power just seems stressful. Also, he doesn't need that much power because he already has ridiculous amount of power anyway. He's like, why would I have... It's like a trillionaire being like, I want another $1 trillion. Like, no one needs $2 trillion.
He knows it's not his place to misuse it.
As usual, you don't understand. You have proved your worth, but this inferior copy of my Omnitrix isn't worthy of you.
That's why even with a limitless Alien X, he will still rarely ever become him. And if he ever does, he'll never do anything more drastic than the situation calls for. Mutually, it's the same reason why Superman chooses to help and protect everyone instead of
totally ruling them like a god.
or why Goku always wants to fight people at their strongest. Hell, he even gave Cell a sensu bean.
Cell's used up a lot of his
That was
energy.
dumb as
It's
bricks.
only fair to let him.
I'll never forgive him for that. That was so dumb.
Think? What?
Okay, you fucking idiot.
Ben Tennyson is the most powerful being in his universe, but it's his humanity that makes him worthy of all of that power.
I don't know how to.
I still can't believe Goku gave Cell a senzu bean. He was like, here, the thing that is going to destroy our solar system and kill all of my family and everyone that I know. Why don't you get fully powered up so you can beat the shit out of my son? Dad of the year, everyone. Within the context of like a bloodlusted fight to the death, Ben 10 has stupid hacks that allows him to survive anything and then just deletion everything from reality. You could probably do that. I agree. But in the context of like a more friendly sparring match where the objective is not to kill, but just to incapacitate to see who is, I guess, more physically strong, would he even use Alien X? If he doesn't use Alien X, then he has absolutely no chance against any of the Supermans, any of the Gokus. He could try and scan them and become a Saiyan, become maybe a fusion of a Kryptonian and a Saiyan, but without Ultra Instincts, that becomes really hard to win as well. Because if Goku has Ultra Instinct at that point, especially mastered Ultra Instinct, bam, zoom, straight to the moon, he's gonna get clocked out. So if he doesn't use the reality warping hacks, can he still win a fight? I don't know if he could, to be honest.
But where does that leave Ben now? I mean, surely after spending a decade building up all of that continuity, the next series Ben would finally be able to use all of his potential instead of just, I don't know.
I guess this is before the series ended because it actually ended pretty good and then they rebooted it, so that kind of sucked. But I'm pretty sure that is the end of the conversation. Anyway, I think in a fisticuffs, not so serious fight, I think that Goku or Superman has got it. I think definitely Goku's got it with the whole mastered Ultra Instinct. In a, we need to destroy the other person and kill them for dead, 100%. Ben 10's probably got it because he's got the hacks. He's got so much hack. He's got dumb, stupid hacks on his side. He could sort of prevent himself from dying. He doesn't get speed blitzed, which he probably would get speed blitzed, and then he just reforms as Alien X and he just reality warps and boom, everyone's done because he has complete control over it. So I think it's a 1-for-1 match, you know? It's 1-for-1. One situation he loses, one situation he wins. But let me know what you think in the comment section. And if you want me to react to something, leave it in my Discord server.